Hi, welcome to Biz Jet TV. My name is Fabrizio Poli. Today we're going to be talking about, do we need more runways? Now this is a subject that's going throughout the world. We see new airports being built all over the place with these massive runways. Lots of talk just recently about the third runway at Heathrow Airport, which has actually been denied. There's talks over in Vancouver in Canada about building another runway. But do we really need longer runways? Do we really need more runways is the question. Well, I was approached by a TV network the other day because there's this court ruling over in the UK which has denied building a third runway in Heathrow Airport. And so all the environmentalists are super happy because, you know, they kind of won this case. And so we're going to go into this interview, and I don't think they expected me to reply the way I replied. I think they wanted the interview to go a different way. But, you know, I'm very frank and, you know, I just tell you like it is. And there's something that a lot of these journalists and a lot of the media and politicians don't get about this whole runway issue. So let's go into the interview and then let's see what I say. And I'll wrap it up at the end. And then I'd like to see your comments below. So if you haven't been on this channel before, I encourage you to have a look round Biz Jet TV. It's all about business aviation. The object here is to educate you about private aviation, the use of private jets, and that as a business tool. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Give us a thumbs up. So let's go straight into the interview now on TRT World Live and see what I had to say about Heathrow Airport's third runway. Off we go.
Aviation analyst Fabrizio Poli joins me now. Fabrizio, on paper, it looks like this is a huge victory for environmentalists and a big blow to Heathrow. What are the airport owners likely to do now?
Well, I think we're missing the mark on this whole story of airports. It's the same as happening in Vancouver, where they want to build a third runway. What none of these analysts have taken into consideration, and the politicians haven't decided, is the fact that technology is changing, okay? There are a lot of projects out there, aviation-wise, airplane-wise. If we take, for example, the electrical vertical takeoff and landing projects that are coming out throughout the world, the urban air mobility system, where we're going to see these vehicles landing and taking off vertically, with electric engines. Elon Musk is talking about flying rockets, people on rockets from anywhere to anywhere in less than an hour. There's projects out there like the Adifu, which I covered on my channel on Biz Jet TV on YouTube, which is like, it looks like a flying saucer, and this flies supersonic without creating a sonic boom and can take you from A to B and lands vertically. So when they're looking at doing these projects, these massive runways where they're disrupting housing estates, they're disrupting the environmentalists, the politicians are making a lot of noise, the mainstream media are throwing in, you know, more fire, more wood on the fire to create, you know, a big story around this. And at the end of the day, nobody is talking about technology. Nobody's talking about what flying machines are going to look like in the next 10 to 15 years, which is how long it's going to take to build this runway, which is going to cost $18 billion. And at the end of the day, in 15 years' time, we'll be flying in a completely different manner than we are today.
That's actually an interesting point. Why do you think the expansion at London's Heathrow Airport has become such a contentious issue? I mean, can't sort of the extra capacity be built somewhere else?
Well, I mean, air travel is going to increase. I mean, because the main driver of this is the internet. Okay, we've got another 2 billion people coming on the internet in the next couple of years. And these people will come on the internet, they will connect with people on the other side of the world, they'll start buying goods from the other side of the world, and this stuff and these people need to travel from A to B. And air travel is the way to do it. So all throughout the world, we will see an increase in air travel. But the way we're going to be traveling through the air is going to be very different in 15 years' time to the way we do now. I mean, we already see now drones delivering pizzas in New Zealand and in the United States, and we're going to see more drones take over a lot of the work. Then we're going to see rockets take over some of the work, more of these electrical vertical takeoff and landing, and these other flying machines which can fly supersonic, you know, without, you know, disrupting, you know, with noise and stuff like that. This is what's going to be happening in the next 15 years. It's coming a lot sooner than what we think. Elon Musk is the man to watch on this one, and there's a lot of other entrepreneurs and inventors like these two inventors over in Romania building this Adifu. They built a prototype. It's flying. Now they're raising money to build an actual manned flying vehicle. These are the people to watch, because these people are going to disrupt. So you can imagine investing 18 billion pounds or dollars, whatever it is, on this project for Heathrow. In 15 years' time, you built this massive runway, and guess what? You don't need it anymore.
Okay. So what I'm getting from your conversation is that it's not good news for Istanbul's new airport and the operators of China's new mega airport as well in terms of technology. All right. Fabrizio Poli, thank you very much for joining us here on the News Hour. I do appreciate it.
You can see the TV anchor was very surprised there. But you know, this is the point, you see. We don't need to be building these bigger runways. And it's going to take 15 years to build them. It's not something we can build in 12 months. So let's look at the technology. And I've covered a number of different types of flying machines that are being currently developed and test flown. And you can, if you look at the thread, and the playlist on future of aviation here on Biz Jet TV, you'll be able to see what I've been covering, and I'll be covering more and more of this because I'm a great believer that, you know, this is where we need to be looking at technology. And if we look at Moore's law, and those of you who don't know what Moore's law is, it's basically a geometric progression. So if we take the number 1 and we double it, that's 2, we double it, it's 4, then it's 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, etc., etc. So if we, let's say, go to the number 1000 and we double the number 1000, the jump between 1000 and 2000 is 1000. It's not like the jump from 2 to 4 or 16 to 32. So as technology is evolving, it's changing massively from one version to the other. And so this is a phenomenon which is happening technologically all over the world, and it's going to happen in aviation. I mean, let's face it, the shape of the airplane today is the same it was in 1903. I mean, today we're still flying around in Boeing 747s that we had back in 1960s. And the speed of the airplanes is the same. It hasn't changed since we retired Concorde. So I think we're going to see a massive change in the way we fly. Elon Musk is talking about using his rockets. You can click on the video about that and watch that about anywhere to anywhere in less than an hour. I did an interview with a guy from the founder of the Mars Society, very interesting. You look at the electrical vertical takeoff and landing, look at the DFU, which I mentioned in my interview at TOT World. You know, these are projects which are currently being developed. A lot of these projects are well funded as well. That's where we need to be looking. So the politicians, the environmentalists, all these people need to stop arguing. Also because, and listen to carefully on this one, these arguments and court cases cost money. And that money is being wasted. Okay? All this propaganda around this thing, a bit like this coronavirus thing right now, which is going around. It's a flu. Face it, guys. It's a flu. You know what to do to cure the flu. You know, drink a lot of liquids, lay in bed for a few days, take some vitamin C, and guess what? It's gone. It's gone. Okay? So this whole propaganda, Greta Thunberg and her environmentalist thing and all this thing going on, it's just propaganda. And a lot of the people that are going on about these things haven't got a flipping clue. And these airports have spent a phenomenal amount of money to hire consultants to write all these projects about these runways. And these consultants haven't even thought about the technology and the changing technology. So I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars they've spent on consultants to write these fancy projects for these airports when they haven't considered, you know, maybe we need, you know, landing pods for the electrical vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. Maybe we need to build, you know, rocket launch, because, you know, I think we will see about 30 cities around the world that will be using rockets to take people from anywhere to anywhere. So these are the kind of things that they need to be thinking about, and they need to be putting their money into projects along those lines, thinking about the technology. No, they're completely ignoring it. So, you know, as a business person, and you're obviously watching this because you're interested in traveling for business, and that's why you landed here on Biz Jet TV, and that's what we cover. And it's important, I think, to think about the future, think about where we're going, and how technology is going to evolve, how it's going to change the way we fly in the next 15 years. I mean, the whole car industry is being disrupted by electric cars and the self-driving cars, and that the insurance industry is going to be disrupted by that. There's going to be major disruption in the next 15 years, even in the way we fly. So just keep watching this space. There's going to be a lot more of this coming in the next few weeks on Biz Jet TV about this, interviews with different people and covering these subjects, as well as talking about, you know, the whole private jet industry. So keep watching this space. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Click on these other videos that are coming up now, and have a look round and comment below. We love to hear from your comments and suggestions and that. That's all from Fabrizio Poli and Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.